What up, everybody? It's your boy Sack the King up in this motherfucker, man. Now, this is sort of a life story. This is really just a question that I get a lot from friends and family. And the question is, like you see in the title, why I chose Japan of all places to come to, right? Now, let me give y'all a little pretext to this, video. For one, I'm not a fan of sushi at all. I don't eat sushi. 2, I don't watch anime. 3, I don't like ramen. Now, I like top ramen. I like cup of noodles. But when it comes to Japanese ramen, I'm just not a fan of it. I've tried it, and I'm just not a fan of it, man. So with that being said, it's like, Sack, what the fuck are you doing in Japan then? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'll get to that. But before I do, hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know and help the channel grow, man. Otherwise, your mama's a hoe and kutabade if you understand Japanese. You know what I'm saying? I'm just fucking with y'all, man. Yeah. But anyways, man. So before I came to Japan over what? Now I've been here about 16 months I've been in Japan, right? And I love it here. I love Japan. You know what I'm saying? As you can see in some of my other videos, I named the things that I love about Japan and the things that I dislike about Japan. So go and check those videos. But overall, I love Japan. You know what I mean? It's a very peaceful country. You know what I mean? But where I came from prior to coming to Japan was Hawaii. You feel me? Yeah, man. And when I leave Japan, I'm going back to Hawaii. You feel me? Yeah, man. I love Hawaii, man. Shout out to all my friends and my family in Hawaii, man. I love y'all. Anyways, man. So I had options to go other places before I chose Japan. I could have went back to Sacramento, where I'm from. I had a job offer there. I had a job offer in Germany. I had a job offer in Italy, and I had a job offer in Cuba, and then I had Japan, okay? So that's 5 options that I had at the time that I felt like I just needed a little bit of a change for a change of scenery than Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? Hawaii, Sacramento, I always tell people this, Sacramento is my hometown, Hawaii is my home, and Japan is my current location, man. Like, I'm a beach ass nigga, man. I'm not a bitch ass nigga. I'm a beach ass nigga. Get your vowels right, man. B-E-A-C-H, not B-I-T-C-H, man. Yeah. I just fell in love with Hawaii, man. There's so much positive things about Hawaii. There's so much dope shit about Hawaii. But this video is about why I came to Japan, because obviously I left Hawaii to come somewhere else. Now, the reason why I didn't go back to Sacramento is because, the pay was going to be the same, or maybe a little bit more. But I'm from Sacramento, and I felt like I left Sacramento for a reason. You know what I mean? There's plenty of reasons why I didn't choose to live in Sacramento. For one, the main reason is I figured, why stay in Sacramento when I can move to Hawaii for the same cost of living as California, or maybe just a little bit more, but 100% less violence there. You feel what I'm saying? And I can get off work at 2:30 in the afternoon and go right to the beach anytime I want. Pick a beach. You feel what I'm saying? So anyways, that was the main reason why I didn't choose Sacramento. Now, I do miss my family and friends. And I have my youngest son that still lives there in Sacramento. You know what I mean? My oldest son moved with me to Hawaii. Well, they both were living in Hawaii at the time. But when I moved to Japan, my oldest son stayed in Hawaii. You know what I mean? He got his own thing going now. Shout out to him. But, as much as I miss my family and friends, I just felt like I did everything that I could do in Sacramento. And it was just time for me to separate to elevate, in which I don't regret the decision. So I just felt like I'd be going backwards, right? Okay. Then there was Germany, right? So the reason why I didn't go to Germany is because I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Their money is higher than the dollar, and they didn't want to give me any kind of relocation incentives. They didn't want to pay for any of my relocation, so I was coming out of pocket for that. And they didn't want to give me any kind of advance pay to where I can, get on my feet right real quick. You know what I mean? So, and I lived there for 5 years, like I said, in a lot of these Germany stories. And I do miss all my friends in Germany, man. Germany was a great experience for me, man. I wouldn't take it back for anything, you know what I mean? Like, my daughter was born in Germany. I met some of my best friends that I still have to this day. One who's actually from Sacramento. And so, like, I love Germany, man. Germany was lit as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever get a chance to move to Germany, go to Germany, man. But when I thought about it and I had to narrow it down to where I was going to go, I just decided, man, I already been there and done that. You feel what I'm saying? So then came Italy. Now, I've been to Italy before. Italy is a beautiful country. And one thing about me is, like, I'm a history nerd. So I love Italy because there's so much history there with, like, the Roman Empire. I'm into, like, ancient history, right? So, you know, but I was going to go, where I was going to go was, like, maybe right by Florence, Italy, which I've been to Florence, and it's a beautiful city. You know, I've been all through all the major cities in Italy, and all of them are beautiful. Italian food is probably my second favorite food after Mexican food. So, you know, on the surface, it just seemed like the play. You feel me? But, like I said, with Germany, they weren't offering no kind of relocation expenses, nor were they offering any kind of, like, advance pay, which a lot of overseas jobs do. You know, well, not a lot, but some overseas jobs do. So you can integrate yourself into where you're moving to, right? Because it's a whole new country for most people. And again, just like Germany, they're on the Euro system, which means that my money in dollars would be less than their money in Europe. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, I already been to Italy before. You know, as much as I would love to go to Italy, been there and done that. You know what I mean? So next on the list was Cuba. Now, y'all know how I love them motherfucking Latinas. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You feel me? Anyways, so I got a job offer from Cuba. Now, this was going to Guantanamo Bay, actually. I was going to work for the Navy at Guantanamo Bay, which I come to find out that's one of the worst places that people in the Navy like to be at all. But, you know, I'm a firm believer of different strokes for different folks, man. What might not be good for you might be great for me, and vice versa. You feel me? But as I was doing more research into it, this is why I didn't choose Cuba. Because, you know, Cuba is a great place to be as far as, like, culture. You know what I mean? And with my last name, I'd probably be treated like a king over there because they rule that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or that could work into a negative favor for me. But aside from that, it's in a great geographical location, meaning I could have went to, you know, I could have went to Jamaica, I could have went to Puerto Rico, I could have went to Dominican Republic, I could have went to Miami, I could have been going to all the Caribbean, St. Croix, St. Thomas. I could have been going to all these different places in the Caribbean for very cheap, right? But here's the catch to that. When you work at Guantanamo Bay, this is where they keep all them 9/11 prisoners and all that shit. You're not allowed to leave the post. So I'm going to be restricted to a small post, even though that there's kind of shit to do there. You know what I mean? I felt like I'm going to be on house arrest. And there's limited supplies there. And when you live in an island like that, like, first of all, that post has probably only got one little bar. You know, they probably, you know, only got one little restaurant. You know, there's not much shit to do. When I was doing my research, there's not very much shit to do. Now, if I could have leeway to go and explore the island and go to Havana and go to Santo Domingo and all these other places, you know what I mean, and just be free on my own. I'm not sure if Santo Domingo is in Cuba. It might be another city that I'm mixing up with. I think that might be in Dominican Republic. But anyways, don't hurt me, YouTubers, because I know y'all like to be so politically correct on here. But anyways, man, longer story short, I just couldn't be confined to the base, man. You know, I wanted to be out there gigging and moving and sneaking and geeking around that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I love them Latinas, you know what I mean? So I might have had me a bad little Cuban thing over there. You feel what I'm saying, man? Yeah, you know, they built a little bit different over there, you know what I'm saying? And so, anyways, I still plan to visit Cuba, but in order for me to go and visit Cuba how I wanted to, I would have to fly to Miami and then catch a flight from Miami into Cuba and visit like that as a tourist, and then fly from Cuba back to Miami and then get a flight back to Guantanamo Bay, which is on Cuba, the island of Cuba. So I was just like, you know what? Like, nah, I just can't do it. And here goes Japan. Never been to Japan. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not interested in a lot of the main things that are presented as Japanese culture, such as sushi, ramen, anime, shit like that. But what I am interested in is samurai shit. I'm interested in shrines. I'm interested in temples. I'm interested in the history of Japan, like the ancient history of Japan. Like, you know, and I used to watch this show called Battle for Japan. It's on Netflix. It's a very great series. And as I was watching, I was like, man, I want to go to visit all these people's castles and shit like that, right? Another thing, Japan was offering relocation expenses and advance pay when I got here, you know what I mean, to help me get on my feet, which the advance pay helped me get in this big-ass fucking mansion that I live in. I got a 4-bedroom mansion here in Japan, you feel me, all to myself. And if you are familiar with anything about Japan, most of these people, there's so many people in Tokyo, right, alone. There's 30 million people in Tokyo, the city of Tokyo alone. Now, let me put some of that into context for you. There's also 30 million people in the whole state of California. Let me say that again. One city in Japan, which has many big cities, of Tokyo, which is right down the street where I live, has 30 million people. The state of California, which is one of the most populated states in the whole United States, Bay Area, up north, in the middle, San Diego, LA, Orange County, all that put together in one city, right? So I say all that to say that most people here live in very small quarters, very, very small quarters. It's not uncommon to see people who live in studio apartments or 1-bedroom apartments, you know what I mean? It's not uncommon to see whole families still staying in apartment buildings because there's not very many houses in Tokyo. It's all, if you ever come to Tokyo, you'll see everybody is on top of each other, right? My house is a little bit outside of Tokyo, so I live in what's considered kind of the countryside, you know what I mean? But, you know, with that advance pay, I was able to put a down payment on this fat-ass, beautiful-ass fucking Japanese mansion, you know what I mean? And if you go to one of my earliest videos, I give y'all a whole tour of my house in case you want to see what it looked like prior to me moving in, you know what I mean? So that was an incentive, and the yen is lower than the dollar, so my money stretches a lot more here than it would have in Cuba. I mean, well, I don't know about that, but definitely in Europe and in Sacramento, you know what I'm saying? Japan is a very peaceful country. I was doing my research on Tokyo and I seen it was lit. And as y'all can see from some of my videos of Japan, you'll see it's lit as fuck here. This shit is lit like it was in the early 2000s of Germany here in 2023, man. I've been here since 2022. It's lit as fuck here. The party does not stop, you know what I'm saying, until you want it to stop, really, you know what I mean? And I made the right choice, and I'm very happy with my choice, and I'm here for 3 years, but I can extend up to 5 years, and I've even heard I can stay till 7 years, which I don't plan on doing, but 5 would probably be my max if I chose to stay. Like I said, I'm already damn near a year and a half into this. I got about another year and a half until my shit expires, or I can choose to extend until 2025, which I'm still on the fence about for a few different reasons. But yeah, man, so to answer everybody's question, that is why I chose Japan over Sacramento, over Italy, over Cuba, and over Germany, man. So, hey, if you ever watching this video, no matter where you at in the world, hey, save up your money and come to Tokyo one time, man. Now, Japan has other big cities There's islands around here that we can explore. I mean, that you can explore. I've already been to some of these. You can check my videos out of Okinawa. I'm not sure if I posted any videos when I went to Osaka and Kyoto, but I definitely might have to unarchive those from my old phone and post those, because I've been to a lot of shrines. I've been to a lot of cities here. I've had a lot of great times with the nightlife here, man, and I've had no problems here. The people are very nice, very respectful. It's very clean here, and on top of everything else, it's very safe here. And another thing is when I worked in Hawaii, I worked with a lot of Japanese people, because I don't know if you know this, but Hawaii has the second most population of Japanese people outside of Japan. So all the time that I was in Hawaii, I worked with Japanese people, and they're always telling me about Japan, and how I need to travel there one day. And who knows? I mean, what do you know? I just moved there without ever even visiting, kind of like Hawaii. I never visited Hawaii before I moved there, and it worked out. I moved to Japan without ever even visiting, and it worked out, and I'm happy, and I made the right choice, and I made the right decision, man. So, like I said, if you ever want to go somewhere in the world, hey, put Tokyo on your bucket list, because it's definitely worth coming to see. And that's the reason why I came to Japan. Hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know and help the channel grow. It's King.